It was the teenager Alejandro Garnacho that scored as Manchester United ended Real Sociedad's flawless Europa League record, but they actually had to settle for second place in Group E. It was a top spot decider in Spain. It means now the Red Devils will have to play in February's playoffs, where they'll face one of the clubs dropping down from the Champions League. But Bruno Fernandes has revealed Garnacho's poor attitude on Manchester United's pre-season was behind his early season struggles under Erik Ten Hag. This is what was said. At the beginning of the season, not at his best. In the tour, he didn't have the best attitude that he should have, and that's why he didn't get his chances until now. Now he's getting chances because he's training better, he's having a better attitude, and he deserves his chances. Now, obviously, Bruno Fernandes has been put in front of the cameras. He's been asked the question about Garnacho's performance, no doubt, and somewhere along the lines, he's decided to bring up what happened in pre-season and how there's been a change in perhaps his attitude and his way of thinking in this season. Does that surprise you, though? That
Bang
Fernandes
out of order.
chose to do that.
Sort your own attitude out. Bang out of order. Fernandes has got a habit of saying things like that. I thought he was bang out of order. 18-year-old lad. Just scored. You know, he's played 2 games, had an impact in both games. You don't say that on the television. You don't say that. You say it to him. You know, after the game, you can, if you're trying to help him, you can go up to him and say, listen, get your attitude right, as pros do to younger players. But you don't go on the TV and like publicly out him as if the lad's a problem and he's got a bad attitude. That will stick with him forever. And that can damage you. I mean, if you're his parents listening to that, or his manager, if I was his manager, I'd be thinking, why have you said that out in the open?
There will be some that will say maybe that's just to spur him on a little bit. I mean, I'm in your camp. I think you didn't need to say it. You could have just kept that in-house and not take the gloss away from what has been his first ever European goal.
Tells me more about Fernandes, Nat.
Does it?
That interview tells me more about him than the young lad.
What does it tell you then?
It just comes out with statements sometimes. I'm thinking, sort yourself out. He's diving on the floor and appealing for everything and comes out with ridiculous statements every now and again. But to dig an 18-year-old boy out like that on the TV, I thought he was wrong. I think you should leave that to the manager. If the manager wants to say it out loud, I guarantee you the manager would never say anything like that out loud. He's got a better attitude now. I mean, say it behind closed doors.
I can't imagine it would be the right thing to do for a manager either, especially when you're an 18-year-old who's just, as I've said, just scored your first goal in Europe, turned out to be the winner as well, and it was a great goal. It just seemed a little strange to take that conversation in that route to, as you say, dig him out, call him out for, I don't know, something that just seemed a little bit unnecessary at that time.
No, you can do it in training, you know, and amongst ourselves, and when that's how they learn, young lads, off your peers. So he'll be watching Ronaldo training and he'll be watching, but if he starts messing around in training or like being a bit lazy, or they'll teach him, this is how you become a proper professional. All of them would jump on him, but you don't do it on the television. What benefit are you getting from that? Well,
Marco's just tweeted, says Bruno is our captain. Wind your neck in, Dino.
Well, I wouldn't want a captain like that who's digging 18-year-old boys out. I'm just telling you what I'm thinking. I've been in football all my life, and you got to be careful with 18-year-olds when you're actually, you know, labelling them as. I mean, human nature tells you that boy's got a bad attitude.
Well, that's the problem now that we're going to have, yeah, because of what was said. And you're right, even to actually mention in the past Bruno Fernandes' own attitude we've questioned.
Sort yourself out, yeah. I mean, I
Strange.
wouldn't respect him if he was my captain and he was doing that to an 18-year-old.
It's a sort of strange timing to have mentioned it. But anyway, at the end of the day, Manchester United won that game in Spain, but it just wasn't enough. They needed to win by 2 goals or more to top the group. That wasn't the case. And just to let you know, that means they'll be in the Europa League knockout playoff round. It's an extra sort of round before the last 16. And their likely opponents will be either Ajax, Barcelona, Bayer Leverkusen, Salzburg, Juventus, Sevilla, Shakhtar Donetsk or Sporting Lisbon.
Tough
Won't
games.
be easy, whoever they get, I'm sure.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.